Alright, what's up everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Crypto, Coffee and LoFi. Nothing much has changed since the previous episode. We are still in a ranging environment. So you really shouldn't be taking any trades, even on the hourly or especially not the H4 and above. I've just been scalping the 1 minute time frame, and I think that's the best play for the time being until we start to either break to the downside or the upside. But you can see we're clearly in a range here, so not expecting any kind of expansion. So if you are new here, I'm essentially just using the same pattern to find accumulation and distribution, support, resistance, and that same pattern again as my entry trigger. I'm not going to go too in depth into what that pattern is. You can find the tutorials that I posted about 6 months to a year ago further down my YouTube channel. But what is today's plan? Right. My higher time frame bias still hasn't changed. I think we got a bit of a shocking daily close yesterday. So I'm really trying not to take any swing trades here. You can see, swept out this low, breaking above the higher. But then we have all of these equal lows resting inside this area of accumulation. So I think today or tomorrow, we come up and test this distribution. You can see we swept out this high here. Breaking below, the low is responsible for taking that high, and we're yet to retest it. So if around London or New York, we retest this level and distribute, then I think we sell off into these equal lows. If we do not distribute at this level and we break up above the high right here and then validate this area of distribution, then I think we head up towards 42k. So really trying not to overcomplicate things here. For a lower time frame scalp around the open, there's still no trigger yet, but this is something that I'm eyeing. So you see we swept out these equal lows, breaking above the high, or the most prominent high that is responsible for taking those lows. So if we can get some kind of sweep around the open, followed by a break in structure, then we may get a lower time frame entry, let's say on the M1 around this level. I'm not trying to predict anything. I think the best thing to do in a ranging environment is just play level to level as it plays out. So yep, that's pretty much it for Bitcoin. So looking for a possible long scalp. If we don't get that, then I think we just continue selling off. If we get the distribution around 38.2, then you can look to short into these equal lows. If this level breaks, then you can look for longs into 42k. If we do get the distribution here, then hopefully once we reach below these equal lows, we accumulate somewhere in this zone. If we do fail to accumulate, then obviously we continue this downtrend that we're in and head for these equal lows. So really, it is just standing on its final leg. If this fails, then we head much lower. But let's just wait and see, I guess. ETH is a similar picture. So I closed the majority of the long position that I was in from 2,500. Check out the previous episode to see my explanation for that. But a similar picture here on ETH, except sorry guys. The difference being that we do have a bunch of equal highs in the previous area of resistance, whereas Bitcoin had a sweep. So that's a good sign. It doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to take these out yet, but it means if we do get some accumulation, then we have an obvious objective for price to be reaching towards. But for now, there's still no sweep on the downside either, so there's no signs of accumulation inside of this zone, which is what I was looking for. So we could see something like this, possibly. If we do get that, then a lower time frame entry trigger on the 5 or M15 around that level, targeting this low, targeting these equal lows. However, a bullish scenario, because we didn't see any accumulation here, it means we're still needing to see the first confirmation. So we'd need a sweep of a level, a break in structure, a decent sized rally, and then we would need the second confirmation to form here, something like this. If we get that, long into the equal highs. But nothing much has changed, just playing the trend. I do think ETH needs to come up and test around 3K before seeing any more legs down. Of course, I could be wrong, so just waiting for the scenario to play out. FTT, still accumulating here, so sweeping out this low, breaking above the high. Again, this is one of the more bullish signs that I'm noticing, and not many people are talking about this. Like I explained in the previous episode, if the exchange tokens are accumulating, they're accumulating for a reason. So until that these levels of accumulation start to get invalidated, then we should assume that it's bullish. And if it is bullish, then that is a good sign for the rest of the market. So sweeping out this low, breaking above the high, returning to this level, sweeping out this low, breaking above the high. So there are signs of accumulation here. So looking for this level to hold, and maybe a lower time frame entry for a scalp around London Open or New York Open. If you do get that lower time frame entry, then targeting $50, and then possibly even up to 60. And like I explained in the previous episode, I am just waiting on that weekly close above $50. If we get that, then we're good to enter swing long positions. But let's say these levels start to get invalidated. So this wouldn't be good. So if we got a break of this level, then I would expect a temporary downtrend to continue on the M15 into this area of accumulation. So sweeping out this low, breaking above the high. Since this whole leg up here, we haven't really come back to test it. So if this level breaks right here, you could possibly look for scalp shorts into this zone, where hopefully we then get some reaccumulation. And you can also look at Bitcoin and ETH as well. So if Bitcoin and ETH are both printing the short scenarios that I spoke about, and we get this break here on FTT, that won't be a good sign, and the chances are that we don't see the reaccumulation at this level, but we will have to wait and see. Just like Bitcoin and ETH, we are in a ranging environment, so just taking it slow. Try not to overtrade. That's a mistake that you don't want to make. Like, while price is ranging and not expanding, the worst thing you can do is trade and expect some kind of expansion. You'll just get chopped up. So just trade in the lower time frames for now. Looks is not looking that great, to be honest. So last week, I was expecting a move into these equal lows here, but because we did get this accumulation on the H4 that I explained in the previous episode, I was thinking that we would then continue to see an expansion to the upside, but we didn't get any further breaks, and it looks like we're headed a bit lower. So if we do get a daily or weekly close below this level, then I think below these lows is the next obvious objective. Then once we do reach below those lows, I'll be looking to fill long-term spot bags as long as we see accumulation there. No worries. So that's 8 minutes. Just a quick summary: Bitcoin, ETH, FTT, everything is pretty much ranging. If we do get the structure breaks here on the lower time frames, and just looking to trade those around the open. The indicator is long at the moment too, so that's important to take note of. I don't really like fading this thing, given the hit rate and its success. So no worries, I'm going to end it there. If any of this interests you, the way that I'm drawing out the charts or trading, you can click the link in the description below and pick up a copy of the strategy. It's an in-depth guide and explanation into everything that I'm doing here. So if it interests you, feel free to go and do that. No worries. I will see you guys on Monday.